there. I am getting ready to go over our instructions for our project. So whether you were in class today or you were not in class, this will be helpful if you have any questions about the assignment. So first of all, your assignment is right here. It is obviously where you are right now because you wouldn't have found my video if you weren't here. Go ahead and click on the assignment and open that up. This is our natural hazards introduction to how scientists use data to predict and forecast hazards. So as you can see here, I just talk a little bit about natural hazards and then I give you our goal. The focus of this, like I said, is just looking at how do scientists go over the data to predict and protect. We are in the business of helping our fellow humans, and so they use all this information to try to mitigate, which is our 8th grade power word. Mitigate means to solve a problem, to help make it better, okay? So you will have several choices, 4, and you have volcanoes, earthquakes, hurricanes, or tsunami. We are focusing on these 4 because there are tons of data that we can look at and support what we're learning in class. So choose which one you think is most interesting. Take a second. Okay, we're going to move on. So the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to claim your project. So the earlier you get here, the better it is. So you're going to click that big banner that says, click here, and it takes you right here. So if you look across the bottom, there are 4 tabs, okay? You are going to choose the class period you are in. So if you're in period 4, you need to select period 4. All right, you are going to, in this box, say you want to do earthquakes. You're going to write your name, so you're going to do your last name first, okay? And you're just putting the initial, you're not putting the full thing. And then you're going to put your name. My name is Nicole, so I'm putting R. Nicole for earthquakes. Bada bing, bada boom. That's my project. Okay, now you're done. Go ahead and click. And you're back. All right, now you are going to be researching about your topic. So you're going to look at these 4 bullet points as your focus for what your presentation or product is. So you're going to talk about the cause of the disaster, where they occur, where we find them. You're going to talk about the data that we use to predict and prevent. And then you're going to look at the effect. How do they affect humans? Sometimes they really affect us a lot, and sometimes it's minimal. So you're going to just discuss or share, or however you decide to do this. That's one of your pieces. And then lastly, what are we doing to mitigate? Yay! 8th grade power word, to make this disaster less disastrous. Okay? 2, you're going to create an end product, and I am not going to tell you what it is. So we are an art school, and y'all are one of the most creative bunch of kids that I have ever seen. And so I'm sorry if you're an old kid and you're listening to this video, you were creative too. We are going to create whatever it is that you want to create as your end product, as long as it shares the information on those 4 bullet points. You are not allowed to use, I know this is going to be painful, no Google Doc, no Google Slides. I love them, but they're overdone. So you have to find something else to share your information. Google has lots of awesome products. And so there are also really awesome opportunities out there on the web, such as like Canva. Heard of it? I think you have. So you guys have lots of ways that you can create this, but you can also do it by hand. So if you are one of those kiddos who loves to draw or build or model or do whatever it is that you do, this is your opportunity. So what you'll do is take a picture of it when you're finished, or a video, whatever makes it happen, right? All right, 3rd, this is probably the most difficult part. It's the Screencastify. So if you look up here, I have Screencastify in my web browser. You can get this by going to the App Store and pulling, just typing in what it says, Screencastify. You can see it pop up there. It says Screencastify. So if you would pick that up, and all you do is you hit the button and it records, and then you have an option to actually have it trimmed, or you can delete it if it's real bad. It's kind of up to you. All right, and then you're going to share that link to your Screencastify on Monday, so next week's Monday, and this is where your peers are going to learn. You're going to teach them all about your topic, and then they're going to give you some really yummy feedback. You know, the kind that makes you feel good, the kind that makes you want to be like, ooh, I could have done that. This would make me more amazing. And that is actually part of our grade. So let's go on. You have some sources here that you're going to use. You have to use them, okay? However, if you get to a part and you're like, man, I can't figure this out and it's not here. I swear it's not here. Then you can go ahead and Google, okay? But be careful. Not all Google sites are created equally. And also, you have to click the link and actually read the article, because sometimes those articles are not good resources. Sometimes they're like questions that somebody else has asked, and it's just a website with somebody willy-nilly getting in there and talking about it. So be careful with your sources, but you have to use these, okay? Lastly is your rubric. Read through it. It's really important. Rubrics tell you, like, if I want to get a 100, here's what I do. If I want a 90, here's what I do. All right. In my class, the end product is visually interesting. If you look at it and you're like, yeah, I feel good about this. This is fun to look at, then you are on the right track. It addresses each of those 4 research projects. So right here, whoa, these 4 has to address all 4. You have a Screencastify video that makes sense, right? It has a beginning, a middle, and an end. Kind of think of it like a small production for YouTube. Think of it like YouTube reviews, you know, when they go on there and they talk about something. Like, think about that, okay? It should be interesting to listen to. Yeah, totally up to you how you do it, but just it needs to make sense. Your feedback organizer, when I give that to you on Monday, you fill that out and you do a really nice job with it. Like, over and beyond. Amazing comments. And then lastly, you're making connections between all 3 points, which actually should be 4. I apologize. I changed this later. So all 4 points from the research, you're making connections. You're sharing that big picture, but also you're not reading to me, okay? If you have to read something like a big paragraph to describe it, you don't really understand the content, and that's going to bump you down a grade. Okay, you need to be able to talk about it in your video and look like you know what you're talking about. All right, so if you are interested, you can go through the other ones and kind of read what qualifies you for each grade. A 60 means you just didn't do it. I don't give zeros. Sometimes I put a 0 in as a placeholder in the grade book, but it will always switch to a 60 at some point, because I don't really believe in giving zeros. It really puts you at a disadvantage. So anywho, that's a whole nother conversation. So anyway, 60 is the lowest that you can get, but if you get a 60, that means that you're going to have a D in my class. Don't do that. Don't do that. All right, so I have office hours this week. If you go and you look at our agenda on Google Classroom, right here it says work for agenda. You open it. You can see kind of what we're doing this week is light because it's all project-based. So today, introduction, project work time, office hours. Please come if you don't understand something. Project question time, looking at natural hazard data, which will be simple and small. And then project work time, and then Friday's project work time. So I have office hours all week. So come see me if you're struggling. Don't struggle and just not do it. Okay. All right. So this is my recap on how to do it. Have a great day, and definitely come to office hours if you have any questions.